Alright, it looks like everything looks good over on my side for the streaming software, so we'll get started. Gonna make sure I cycle the girls first. Ah, the map went. I actually sold for 26,000. I'm surprised. The steel rings went too. Okay. Only 10k. Well, I mean, that pineapple thing was the only thing that sold. Yeah, the pineapple seed's the only thing that went. Patria had all the other stuff. She sold some stuff too. Okay. These ones all went. Alright. I think I forgot to grab... That's not what I want to do. I'm going to put in trust. Oh. And you should go for 418. Good. I did grab her money, right? I did. Okay. I'm losing my mind. Okay. So, I want to get progress on... get some progress on the achievement for blacksmith. I believe. Is it blacksmith or armorer? Armorer, excuse me, armorer. So that is these two right here. We're closer with this. I might do a little bit of that, but those ones are a bit more finicky because you actually have to do cobalt ingots. That is here, right? Yeah, cobalt and then iron ore, which is not hard to get. So we can double dip with that. The problem is you have to get 400 for, you know. Oh, Rye, hello. I just looked over to my right. Hello. Good morning, good evening. So yeah, I'm just gonna get a little bit so we can start doing, I could start doing this to get a little bit of these ones going. And even having some more high quality stuff too. I could possibly work towards that. 500. I'm not doing that 500 times, that'd be a bit... I'd have to actually have a macro for that, which wouldn't be hard to do, to be fair. I think I could work on, we can work on that one, or I go for the other one here. And that's mithril. I've done that before. Or I work on something else. What's alchemist? Let's see. Alchemist level 50, 41 to 50 is potent blinding potion. That'd be here. Potent blinding potion. Yeah, 500 times high quality. I think I have that already, though. I have that one. Working a little bit. Put another like 100 onto that would help a little bit too. Because you do have lesser when you do the quick synth, you have a lesser chance of getting it, so I don't know about that one. But the thing is, we have to actually go and gather something for that. I think I'm gonna do I want to do the cobalt or the mithril one is a lot easier to do, just in general. Oh, I'm here. Metal, no, metal. Yeah, Mithril's easier. It's just 3 times as much. So gathering that, we can turn that into plates, and the plates can be turned into... The plates can be turned into... The ingots can be turned into plates, and the plates can be turned into rivets. So you can triple dip, pretty much. You can kind of triple dip if you get enough of that. And I've done this before. It takes a lot of time to doing this stuff. Besides, I really don't want to start doing some other things. I could work on the Wondrous Tales, again, Monkpendium. We could do some of that stuff, but I already did this week's stuff. And I don't feel like grinding out other things unless there is a fancy party finder that's going on. No, there's not. Okay. Brave Fox Longstop, is that it? No, it's not. Of course it's not. You're just going for duty completion. Storm's Crown Extreme. Alright. Well, let's go to Southern Thenowin, Forgotten Springs, and we'll go to the Mithril place. As much as I want to do the Cobalt one, the only problem is that we need a lot more gathering to do that. And I've done this before, so we're going to go and just go do this, at least for a little while. Very straightforward. Probably could have did some Duckov instead of this tonight, but I was want a little bit less stressful for the time being. So we'll just do some chill grinding, pretty much. I think I have these ones done, don't I? I think Thanowin's finished. No. Okay, so this is we're quadruple dipping, pretty much. We're getting these, and then we're getting the stuff for armor also. So we'll just get as many of these as we can. Because why not? Did get a decent chunk of experience before. I think I should fight you as a paladin. Pally, right? Probably the Pally. He's a B rank, I think. And I'm doing it with this thing so I actually get experience at the end of it. Rage of Halone. What does Spirits Within do? I kind of... okay. Hey, we got 88 experience points. I've already killed this guy before, so... I just noticed that guy was there. I need to start on the leave quests eventually. But if I'm going to do the leave quests, I'm going to probably specifically do it, because I'm going to have lalachievements have to be logged into my account, so I can do the ticking off of it. So I can keep track of it while I'm doing them. I don't think I want to... I bet that's really far to the north. I should probably go get that too. That's the one north of Alamigo. Oh, you're done with the Heavensward one? That's good to hear. I think there's a... If you're going systematically through it, it's probably the way to go. Probably the best way to do it. This is is around the corner. Hopefully this has a chance of giving us a dark matter clusters. These are two of them at the same time. Jeez. Okay, that's cool. Hopefully we'll be lucky. There'll be something here we can get. Thank the Lord. And it's +4 too, so that's even better. Alright, so we do King's Yield. So I'll give us 6. We're going to do 1 swing. Well, maybe not. I don't think it's going to give us an extra. I want to hit this right here. There we go. We don't get an extra one. Unfortunate. So we get 7 swings of 6. We get 42 at a shot. So close to 100. At least close to making another 95. Okay. So we're close to that, which is very good. Very, very good. Alright. Back to mining mithril. So we do need to work on actually doing the achievements here for the miner too. So this is one of them for the Thanawan achievements. So we just need to get those completed. Anyways, so that's a lot of mining too for the Thanawan area. Yeah, 2,000 times. We need another 800. Need another 800 swings essentially. So that's 200 nodes. That's 200 nodes we'd have to do to get that finished. So, which isn't hard. If you feel like grinding it out or anything like that, it is possible. Of course, I have done that before. I did like 4 hours once of one of the earlier ones. Just like, oh, I'm just going to go hit rocks and trees. So we get 6 out of this one. And I did change my volume for my microphone. I'm hoping that sounds better. So I did get a comment on one of my previous, from one of the previous live streams, like, yeah, you need to up your, we can barely hear you. I'm like, okay, I need to change my settings a bit. So hopefully it actually sounds a little bit better than normal. And I kind of have the microphone closer to my mouth too, so there is that. It's a bit better. Okay, thank you. I upped it slightly. It was at like +1 decibels. You can hear me properly. Okay, cool. I put it up to 3. I might put it up to 5 if that's not the case. But I'm trying to make sure I'm not peaking my mic because I can see green on my OBS. I'm trying to stay out of the yellow. So that means I'm actually loud enough to hear. But it's in the high green, so it should be before you can hear me properly in speaker before you had to use a headset. Okay, that's good to hear. I did position the mic a little bit closer to my face too, so that might be a little bit, that might help a little bit too. Gotta get back in the habit of projecting again. Had too much time of kind of muttering into the microphone and mumbling. Trying not to do that anymore. Should probably switch back to going to earbuds again instead of using the headset. You know, I do like my headphones. Pick up the monitors. Use my ear monitors again. That's 99. So if we want to make these, we need 3 times as many. So I'm going to need almost 400. Just shy of 300 for a 100 stack. If we're going to have to We want to do that. So. You like to buy earphones? I actually bought a very. They were Chinese. They're in-ear monitors. I bought a pair of those, and they were Chinese, and I bought a separate external volume control for them. They're comfortable, but then again, they're for basically for musicians and stage work and stuff like that. Which is they're not. I mean, they're cheap. They're not super expensive, but they're comfortable-ish. But over time, earbuds in general just they irritate your ear. So. I was wearing those for a long time, then I switched back to my headset. The Logitech wired headset I have, or earphones that I have for it. Oh, the open ones? Oh. Yeah, I've heard about those too, where it's it's more comfortable, but it has a different sound to it, something like that. Yeah, I've heard about those. Kind of more expensive for those ones, though. If I remember correctly. At least the decent ones. But I don't need them. That's the other thing. My earphones work fine, so I don't need those. Hell, we'll point dump. You have a headset, but it's bulky to go out with. Yeah, I agree. Mine's bulky. I just use it for PC gaming. I had these nice earbuds that I got from Amazon. They were the company's called Symphonics or something like that. They're made of wood, actually. The actual body of the earbuds are wood. It was actually gave good sound, and they were only they weren't that expensive either, which is nice. And I tried their wireless ones because a lot of the phones don't have jacks on them anymore. You can't just plug into your phone anymore with a wired jack, so you have to have Bluetooth nonsense. And those ones, while they looked nice, they're really heavy in your ears. So it's yeah, it's okay. But the only thing wood on that one was there was an outer covering was wood. It wasn't actually the rest of the body for it, which is unfortunate. I mean, there's a lot of people. I've seen a couple people even at my work where they walk around. They have the over-ear headphones, the wireless headphones, and they just walk around. They're walking between getting their lunch or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I prefer a wired connection, but there's a lot of things, the phones don't have them anymore. If you have a phone, you got another one here. Wow, okay, cool. Little point dump. They don't have them anymore. It's unfortunate. It seems like everybody's trying to copy the iPhone, take away features. Yeah, wireless is the thing I've noticed with the wireless with the Bluetooth is that there's actually a slight delay. If you do something where you press a button and there's a sound, if you hear it, you normally hear it through the speaker, or if it was wired, you hear it immediately. There's actually like a slight delay before you hear it in your headphone, before you hear it in your earbuds. So it's actually really bad. It's a 2024 Sony phone. It still has a jack. I picked up a Samsung. It was actually 2 years ago. This was 2020, 2021, 2022. I got a new phone. It was a Samsung, and it did not have a jack, a phone jack, the jack for the earphones. And I was very sad about that. It was unfortunate because I actually had to go buy pair of Bluetooth earbuds. Have yet another thing I have to charge. Yeah, rhythm game, or if you're listening to like, if you're doing like if you do Duolingo, if you ever use that program, there's like where when you get something goes boo-doo-doo-doo, you know, when you get it right, there's a little bing, so when you got it correct, there's actually a slight delay when it plays, when you get that little thing. So it's like, yeah, okay, I hear it. But, yeah, it's too bad. Maybe maybe when I get a new phone, they'll actually have a, if I have to get a new phone, it'll have a jack on it again. Or I specifically look for something that has a jack. $279. Okay. A slight. Ooh, that would be... Yeah, mithril ingot into rings or rivets. Okay, because if you go into mithril plate, that actually does... That's not enough. Earphones you're going to buy today is wireless. Okay. But you probably got all the fancier stuff over in Japan versus... You get the newer stuff versus the rest of us in the world. I'm gonna go cycling and jogging. Yeah, that would help. It's always good to have that. Yeah, probably should have popped that. Bigger name, bro. Well, don't spend too much. If that's the case, you want to make sure you don't... Make sure you pay your bills before you buy frivolous stuff, essentially. Okay. Nice and chill. Got a nice short work week for myself this week because of the holiday. For Thanksgiving is Thursday and Friday in the United States, so I got Thursday and Friday off. Very short work week. Looking forward to that. Haven't spent any aside from your FF14 sub for 8 months. Well, $12 a month. I mean, it's not that... It doesn't break the bank, but it's one of the cheaper subscriptions I've had over the years, to be fair. Even though the only subscriptions I've really had for a long time... Well, actually, Netflix is one, which I probably might get rid of eventually. I haven't decided on that yet. And I've had that since 2006. I've had that subscription since then, when they had just the DVDs. I had that back then. And then I picked up, because my car had satellite radio, Sirius XM. So that was, I've had that for years, and basically once you have that, you can't go back to normal radio ever again. So I've had that since 2009. Something like that. And then Final Fantasy XIV was the other subscription. I'm living in my brother being in deep, and next year, January, I would start looking for a job. Well, do what you gotta do. I mean, yeah, being in need is not exactly something I would ever aspire to, but I have to actually... I thought to be in need for 6 months. Covering my... That's my job. True. I mean, that's understandable. So, I mean, I was unemployed for 6 months too. This past year. Just got a job back in April. So the unemployment was from August of last year. Not August of last year to February, and then I got a job back in. I got hired back in my old job, or my current job, I should say, back in April. Able to go back. Just gotta look, gotta find stuff. Can't give up hope, and you just keep applying. Do what you can. Don't spend, don't do stupid stuff. Take it easy. Do what you can. I think I'll dump here too. Oh, I don't have enough. Alright. Not a problem. Do 422. Oh. That's unfortunate. Yeah, a friend of mine had that too. He's partially deaf in one of his ears, but that's just, I think that was more of a congenital thing. He was kind of born with it. So one of his ears is just kind of misformed, so he can't hear. Even though he's actually a really good guitarist, which is kind of ironic. Guy's partially tone deaf and can't sing, but he knows to play guitar really, really well. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Probably gather up a bunch, I think, of these things, and we'll turn it into mithril. Could go do some of the, I don't know if I want to do cosmic exploration though, because I do have that is, I need to do that too. Excuse me, I had a burp right there. Hopefully that was muted. It was muted, thank God. Try to be somewhat couth. Especially with black. Yeah, but to be fair, from my experience, a lot of like, unless you got perfect pitch in your ear, unless you have perfect pitch, you will not tell the difference. There's no the different earphones or earbuds or anything. You're not going to tell the difference between them. There's like a slight difference between it, and the only way you could tell is you've got perfect pitch. That's the only way you can tell. So I mean, I've had. I use like iPhone, the iPod earbuds for a long time. The old iPod earbuds until they fell apart, and then I actually had to buy a new set because it just didn't, because they were falling apart. The wires were exposed just from use. But then I knew someone I worked with. He had like 4 pairs of earbuds. He had like 3 separate wired ones, and they had the one where it was like it was just like the one where it go through your head, the bone. It wouldn't even go into your ear. You put it next to your ear, and it conducts through the skull into your ear. He had one of those too. It was just the weirdest thing. Of course, this guy he just like hobbies were basically spending money, essentially. It's like a random way for just him spending money and being a consumer versus actually, like, having an actual hobby, but, you know. He was a weirdo, too. Heavy bass and higher tone folk. Well, true. Yeah, that's true. But if you don't know what you're listening for, I mean, someone will tell you, well, this one has better bass, or this one is, like, higher mid. This one has really nice mids, and this one has crisp highs, or whatever. Unless you know what you're listening for, it's not going to make a difference. If you're just listening to music, you listen to music, or you want to have something to be able to hear the game, the sound from your game that you're playing while you're sitting on the train or on the bus. You know, you don't need stupid expensive ones. You just need something that works. And of course, the various qualities of for music, at least, depending on the quality of the file that you're using. If you have an MP3, those are vary in quality. Unless you're doing lossless, you have FLAC, FLAC files. Yeah, those are lossless, but then again, like, those take up a ton of space. So you wouldn't have a lot of those on your phone. Yeah, it all depends. Won't be buying the... Yeah, I know. I couldn't... Well, I'll put it this way. The earphones that I'm using right now, that I'm plugged into my PC, they're a Logitech gaming headset, right? So it had I think it was like $120 something, and that's probably the most I've spent on earphones. But they're actually really nice because it actually has the stereo thing. So when I'm sitting here, like here, I've heard sounds where it's like, it sounds like it's coming from behind me to my left, and I can sounds like in my ear. That's where it sounds like it's coming from, like behind me and to my left, that kind of thing. That's nice. And of course, where it's if there's like stuff around you need to have, like, if you're playing a game, that's very good. But in general, for the stuff I use these headphones for, yeah, it's not I don't need that kind of spatial awareness, essentially. But they were very nice. I think I used, like, it was some other streamers, like, they had a code or something. So they probably got a kickback. I don't know if I got free shipping or something out of it. They had something going on. It was like free shipping or something, and they got a kickback because of it or something. I don't remember. But it was actually, I got a decent deal on it. Oh, okay. Oh, lucky me. Guess we'll point up into this one. Uh, 627. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, the animals chewing on your stuff, yeah. You gotta... Your pet, or your cat or the dog chewing on your super expensive piece of equipment, yeah, I know. It hasn't happened to me, but I've been very, very careful. Like with my brother's dog and such. Make sure she never got it. Well, when they had her, of course. It all depends. Yeah, these PC, like I said, these PC headphones are the most expensive This is the most expensive thing that I've bought, like headphone wise. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend more than $30 for a pair of earbuds. I would never spend more than that. Because those monitors I bought, I think those were like $20, and I think the inline adapter for the volume control, which is they're both Chinese. They're both made in China. So that was, I think, total that was like, I think the total that was like $30 between the two. I think that was total $30 at the most. And I'm more of the type where for my like electronics and such, I take very, very, very good care of them because I don't want to have to replace it unless I absolutely have to. That's the problem. I use a piece of electronics until it's like it's falling apart. I mean, there was a case where one of my headphones, I actually put a piece of electrical tape around it because you could see the wires. I put a piece of electrical tape around it, and then it kind of came off, and it was kind of, I was worried about getting an electric shock from it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I shouldn't use these anymore. Yeah. I baby my electronics. I baby my computers. I baby my PlayStation, the controls. Like I don't understand the people that like, you know, they'll sit down at their computer, like they'll eat pizza, and then they'll eat pizza or something greasy, and then they'll sit down at their computer and just start typing or doing whatever, and their mouse and their keyboard's covered in gunk. Like I would literally wash my hands before I would actually pick up my controller on my PlayStation or even touch my keyboard on my PC. This is like, I don't want to have to replace it because it's covered in gunk, you know. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Completely random stuff going on. And we're going good. Could have did something else. Yeah, well, rubbing alcohol. I found that the rubbing alcohol doesn't get all the stuff off, unfortunately. And sometimes your mouse will just get covered in stuff, and if you use the rubbing alcohol, it'll get it off, but it'll kind of the plastic will start getting nasty too, and you can't. Then you have to buy a new mouse, that kind of thing. That should be fine. That all depends, of course. I don't like that either. I've had that by one mouse. It kind of had a bunch of like gunk on the side, and I cleaned it off, and then I used some rubbing alcohol to clean it off, and it kind of, the actual frame, it's not plastic. It's like there's some stuff on it's like there's something on it, so it's like comfortable to hold, but comfortable to feel. So it's like it doesn't clean well. And I like to stabilize the polymer in it, so like it just gets really weird. So it never feels clean ever again. But that mouse too was kind of not registering clicks anymore, so it kind of was you had to get rid of that anyways. Oh, you put your alcohol in a tissue. Oh, you wipe your fingers. Okay. Well, I'm more of like, if I'm going to use my computer or the PlayStation, like the controller, like I'll rinse my hands up. I'll wash my hands before touching it. If I eat like pizza or hold something that's greasy, like I'll wash my hands with soap and water, and then I'll sit down and play a game before touching it. But over time, you will get some grease and junk on your mouse. which is unfortunate. Which is unfortunate because the the Logitech mouse that I have actually is, I don't know if they make that anymore. I don't know if they make these anymore. The wired ones. I've actually accidentally bought, I saw it at Best Buy at the store, so I accidentally bought another one because I thought I needed it, but I didn't, so I kept it anyways because like, okay, well now I had, at the time I had my main one that I was using plus 2 backups. So now I think I'm down just to a backup, and I think it's still in a drawer someplace. I think it's still in a drawer. Yeah, it's probably upstairs in the closet. My extra backup. 6. I think I max out the stack, get a 999, and then I'll just go back and, or I'll just sit down and start synthing it. But what would be the best way to do it? Because I could start working on the high quality one. But I don't want to click. I don't want to click a macro. That's the problem. That's 2 clicks. You have to click synth plus macro, synth macro, synth macro, synth macro. I don't want to do that 300 times. That's not my idea of fun. Not fun at all. Okay. Let's go over here. How close are 8:55? Alright. Yeah, 45 minutes to get about a full stack, 1,000 stack. That's not bad. It's not too bad. About an hour. I swore that was going to reproc. Oh yeah, you're right. You'll get the 10 quality, the 10K high quality over time. And I mean, I'm not in a hurry. That's why I don't care about those ones. Because like eventually, because doing the high quality for, I think the collectibles count for high quality? Or anything that I want to synthesize myself as a part of like lead quests or whatever, I would make them high quality regardless. So that'll be that. But for the, where I'm going to sit down and click make all of these, yeah, I'm not gonna hit that 300 times. I'm definitely not gonna hit that 300 times just so I get 300 high quality things towards the list, which would be nice, but I don't want to do that. Oh, we need like a double auto clicker. Well, 8.0 is very far off, if that's the case. Of course, by the time 8.0 comes off, I might be finally getting into the middle of Dawn Trail. Because one of these days I'll finish Endwalker and then finally get into Dawn Trail. And start actively skipping. Well, either I flip to JP, I flip the language to Japanese, so I don't hear Wuklamat's English voice actor, or I skip every cutscene, so I don't hear Wuklamat's voice actor. But from what I've heard about that story, it's not very good. The writing's really, really bad. probably be skipping those also. Yeah, we're fine. Maybe I should have played Duck Off tonight. Maybe I should have played Duck Off. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Oh, I do need to do that Uncharted Waters New Horizons playthrough too. I need to finish that up. Forgot about that. Yeah, I released both the VODs on my channel from the Twitch stream, and then being like, oh yeah, I need to go and I can now work more on Ali's scenario. Oh wait, yeah, it's really boring. I forgot about that. I don't want to do just trading back and forth between 2 ports over and over again, making money. Could do that tomorrow too, actually. Should do that. That might be a better idea. When was the last stream that I did with that? The 13th of November. Okay, so it was 10 days ago. Okay. I was wondering about that. Almost 999. I mean, the story is probably just whatever, but I don't want to have the voice actors. I just don't want to listen to the voice actors. That's all. Bouk Lamont. I don't want to listen to Bouk Lamont's voice actor because the guy is, like, not good. The guy is really, really bad. He should not have had that role. And we are maxed out. We are mithril maxed right now. We are mithril maxed. Do I go over by? We'll go over by 1. Oh, exactly 999. Oh, I love it. Okay. All right, let's go back to old go synth there. Go back to synth there. Okay, armorer. Do 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 do. A little bit of lag. That's weird. Small amount of lag going on. Strange. Darn it. I grabbed the wrong mouse button. There we go. Okay, mithril ingot. Quick synth. There we go. That felt good, actually. Minimum eye level, no echo. Well, I guess there's people that want to do that. Need card, please help. Oh, I didn't check to see how many we got out of that. There's crafting up a storm. Oh, okay. 400 more. Finish this one up. That'll be very nice to see. Finally finish that. So that's 10, 20, and then another... That's 50 points. You finish up those. Wow. Plus the luminary tool. Which would be a flex, but then again, it's just gold. My cosmic tool looks better anyway, so I shouldn't complain about that. Anything else going on? PvP, which I don't want to do. We're working on that. Yeah, more Dark Knight stuff. I just got more like leveling for those ones. Okay. Could have. Oh, I did. I just started this one. I'm thinking the blacksmith one. I did a bunch of these. That's right. $500. Raccomando. Bloodborne 4? 200 matches. Yeah, okay. That's not gonna happen. What did crabs do to you? Earn the crab boat crew bonus during an ocean fishing voyage on the Indigo route. Okay. That's actually close too. That's really close. I do like playing Triple Triad. I mean, I'm probably not going to finish the PvP achievements either. Because in addition to actually being... You have to have... You have to switch companies 2 times to get the PvP rank. Because whatever you are with, you start with that. So I've been Immortal Flames. Because I started in Ul'dah. So we're close to PvP 50. Title Instructional Priest. I have to talk about that. Especially a PvP is just... Because you have to switch between all the companies. You have to get up to rank 50 for all of them. Which is kind of crazy. I mean, this was hard. This is just doing PvP. So you have to do 5,000 PvP matches to get all the achievements for that, that's a little difficult. You have to win 5,000 matches. So that's, yeah, that's hard. Participating in matches again, or Crystalline Conflict. And then Triumph in 10. And you get to Triumph in Crystalline Conflict. While playing a tank. While being a melee DPS. While being a physical range DPS. Range DPS. Roll a healer. I've been doing this one actually. That's that. Because surprisingly, White Mage is actually really good in PvP. Yeah, surprisingly, White Mage is very, very good in PvP. I was actually surprised by that. Frontline in general. This is just from doing it. So you have to do 1,000 frontlines. And then you have to be... You have to switch companies, of course, because I've been Immortal Flames. I'm at 35 out of 50, and you need 1,000 victories for each company. Each free company. Or each grand company, excuse me. For that. So that's a pain in the butt. The interceptor drone one, that's actually been very quick. I actually banged through these through really, really fast when those came up. I was surprised by that. I need one more for you. That's surprising. Rank 50. I don't even know what my PvP rank is. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. PvP rank 45. I have not done any PvP this time around. I got the 7 this time. I probably should, because it's actually really good experience for... It's actually really good experience when you do this right here for the duty roulette. You get a decent check of experience for whatever job you're doing. You just queue in as whatever job, and you switch to whatever job you're comfortable with in PvP, and then the first job gets the experience. I think it was like 2 series ago. I grinded out to level 25 because it had the first set of like modern casual clothes or whatever, and it looked cool on the website. And then when I unlocked it, I looked at it, it looked like shit. It looked terrible. It looked terrible. I still don't understand PvP in this game. Because there is the issue, like, get server ticks and some people will click faster than you or something like that, or... The way PvP goes is just how... I don't understand it. I try to do the best I can, I still die all the time. If I get 2 kills in like in a normal Frontlines match, I'm happy by that. I never max out. There's like a gauge you fill up, and if you do more kills or assists or whatever, you do more damage. I never fill that up because I always get killed. Estelle. Yeah, I end up preferring the crafting and gathering here too. Yeah, the targeting is really bad. That's what I don't like. There's too many nameplates, and if you don't click in the right spot, or if you use the target, like you hit tab, it's not targeting the right person. If you don't have the correct settings, it kind of goes to the wrong person. You try to hit it, they're out of range anyways, and then you get dumpstered. That's happened to me a bunch of times. Yeah, Crystal and Conflict. I can do Crystal and Conflict. That's fine. I mean, I still die a lot in those too, but Frontline is something else. Crystal and Conflict's okay. I'm good at I can do casuals. Frontline, I can do alright as a support, like not directly attacking, like with the White Mage. I can do that. Rival Wings, yeah, Rival Wings is just awful. I don't understand that at all. That don't make sense to me. Even though it's supposed to be some sort of like Dota kind of thing going on. MOBA. League of Legends, Dota type of thing going. I don't understand it. We'll get our mithril ingots here. Yeah, the PvP system, well, I shouldn't say it. I think this is great because I've never played other MMO PvP type of situations, but the targeting, yeah, I agree, the targeting is really, really bad. I mean, if you're the closest character, you want to hit tab so they would target that, but it targets someone else in a different direction because you have a separate cone versus like nearest or something. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's unfortunate. Okay, I did my custom deliveries. I'm not gonna worry about that. Your max for the week. We did those already. Adventures. The girls are running. Beast Tribe Alliances, I'm not going to bother with those. And I think I'm capped for leave allowances. Okay. Can do some of those, but those aren't exactly fun. Because I don't actually have the materials for a lot of them. And most of the ones I've been doing are crafting leaves. Crafting and gathering leaves. Oh boy. I could go with Eureka. That'd be something to do. I should probably do a stream where I just do Eureka stuff. Fill up my kettle. So I can finish up, my monk weapon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 of them. Oh yeah, 4 of these. That's a lot of NM kills in Eureka. Oh, that's really bad. That's a lot of time. Animos, Pagos. What's the third one? The fire one. And there's a 4th one too. Something like that. A lot of grinding. Well, these aren't done, so I really can't put them in the cabinet. I can't put them in the glamour dresser because they're not done. So yeah, so relic weapon, relic weapon, relic weapon, or Eureka weapon, Eureka weapon, Eureka weapon. Resistance weapon, so that's the Stormblood one. Eureka, Eureka, and then just a bunch of other stuff too. Yeah, I can't dump them in the glamour dresser because they're not completed. If I had the what do they refer to? Like the copy. You can put that in the glamour dresser. So I have that with my summoner. Oh, that glamour plate for my book is actually the previous level of this. It's not the Law's Order, but it's the one before it. I have that as the glamour for it. My current book. Oh, I got a bonus set. Ooh. I used all my tomestones to buy it. Okay, decent chunk. 750 is about half, or yeah, 750 is half. So we'll end up with like 550-ish when we finish. That's not too bad. Not bad for an hour's work. The problem is I'll probably go gather a bunch of ice shards after this too, so that is another thing. Gather some ice shards. Already in the shroud? Okay. Could work on that too. Oh, I did do this already. I remember that. I did do that. I was doing that before. 700 more for this one. That's actually pretty close. It's actually fairly close. I do need to get more of the ice shards, though, because we're going to be out. We're going to be functionally out after we're done with these syntheses. Because if I try going in and doing the next stage, I don't have the... I can't fully double dip. Yeah, we definitely don't have enough, unfortunately. I definitely don't have enough. Okay. Alright, we're gonna have to go get some more of those guys. Let me go fix you first. What about botanist, actually? Western Lenosha. Yep, got those. Level 35 for the shroud. Yeah, I could do that. 500 here. I think I do that. I think we'll do some botany versus mining. Go gather some crystals. Alrighty, here we go. Ice shards. I think we'll point up on here, because why not? We do need a bunch of trees. So 25 nodes will get us 100. So times the 500 we need is a lot. Is there a macro command to press this button in the command log? No, I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Welcome back. Alrighty. I'm not actually sure, but I think there's no way to press the synthesis button for you. Of course, with the amount of running mods in this game is a big no-no. You can technically get your account banned, even for something simple like a shaders or something like that. You're not allowed to do that. I'm waiting for this to tick down, so we get a little bit of bonus. We got six swings. $10 seconds. 2, 1. There we go. Yeah, 400. Well, you're right. You won't, if you're not streaming it, you're not talking about it, yeah, you won't get in trouble. But if I'm streaming this game and I click a button that does like a auto crafting for me, where it automatically crafts high quality stuff 100% of the time, yeah, I'm gonna probably catch a ban from somebody. But that person in the free company was asking if there's a way to, if there's a macro that it would actually click the synthesis button for you, so you don't have to click it as a part of the macro. Which I don't think there's I don't think you can do that at all. Of course, you also have some where to automatically click the macro button too, where it automatically run the macro button. I've never done mods in this game. There's a way to do it, but it just seems a little too convoluted. It's not easy. It's not like Steam where I was like, okay, there's a mod for a game. I just click on it in the workshop, subscribe to it, and I can run it. And it'll do, I don't have to do anything. This one you have to download another like launcher. You have to have the mod associated with it. The mod has to be updated. And then maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Though I've seen the ones where they're like shaders, when they make the characters look better. The reshaders. Those would look nice. Because like, even when you look at the character here, like you look at some of the... You can look at the character, like... Fine details, it's kind of like, it's not, there's a little bit of fuzz around the edges. You can see it's not very clean. I mean, that'd be nice to clean up, but like, again, that doesn't bother me too much. Alright, let's go get this this node. Hopefully it'll be something nice. Of course, I've heard about that case where it was one mod, and the guy put some malicious code into it that basically if you ran the mod, it would actually reset your computer or something like that, because the guy got mad at like some other person. Crap. Alright, I will mine these. I'll just toss them. I think these are worthless. I can't sell them anyways, but still. G shader. There was 2 shaders. It was something, yeah, it was something like that. like the guy got mad. The guy got mad at somebody, and they're like, okay, well, if I can't have it, nobody can. So it's like injected malicious code into everybody's. It's like, okay, cool. We'll kill these guys, why not? I mean, I heard about that after the fact. And it's like, yeah, you know, the code, the modding scene, not very nice. Yeah, maybe just you decided to run that thing and it resets your computer when you try to run the game. Well, what if it was something where it would go in and like it would go into your browser and like pull your banking information or log into your bank and then take all your money, you know, drain your bank account, because some people don't store their passwords in their browsers for like their banking information, which I don't, because I write that down in some other place. I write it down when I put that password in every single time, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, someone copied his work. That's what that was. Someone copied his work and got really mad about it. Okay, that's cool. We'll point dump. Six oats. I should have waited for this one. I probably should start drinking some water. Ice shard. G-share have annoying things and are very controlling. I kind of vaguely looked into it once, and like the way the controls were and like how to set up things to make it look a certain way, it was just a little too complex for what I wanted to do. I mean, I'm not that obsessive about making my character look, you know, super clean looking, photorealistic, or whatever the thing is to make it look nice and clean. And some people do a really good job with it, but most of them, they just kind of import settings, I think. There's like, you find someone's settings, you just click it, and it kind of just imports it in. It looks nice, but it's just like, yeah, a little bit more effort than what I want to do, to be fair. I don't care if my character, if you like zoom into him when I'm wearing my summoner gear, it looks a little scuffed. I don't mind that. Remember my summoner glam, it doesn't, you can tell there's a little bit of rough around the edges on the stuff with what he's wearing, what I'm wearing, but it's not that big a deal. Like, really? Yeah, the color is a bit bland. I do agree. Even with like the dyeing of stuff. Of course, these are all my stuff glammed anyway, so it's kind of whatever. I actually like the color. This is the moon gear, actually. The hand saint. Lobskin coat. But yeah, it's the lobskin coat, but it's basically the one of the tombstone gear, but it's white. But it's white instead of black. Even though I like the black one too. But actually the black looks a lot better. But this looks good too. So all my gatherers all have the same gear because they're all level 100. The only difference is their tools. Grass more greener, sky more bluer. Oh yeah, it does do that too. It fixes the grass and makes things more sharper. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. This is fine enough. The graphics here are fine enough for me. I don't really care. But some people want to be like, oh, I want to justify my super expensive graphics card, so I got to make sure everything's on. I have to run everything on ultra highest settings possible because, you know, I got to justify it. But yeah, I don't really care. Got to make your own fun, what you want to do, especially in this game. Or even with streaming in general, you have to figure out what you want to do. Been more of a... It was initially... I did just grand strategy games, and then occasionally with a JRPG. That kind of... Still do grand strategy occasionally. Started playing this like a lot right before Endwalker came out, because that was like kind of like the big switch over to it. Well, when I saw this, when it was the big thing on Twitch, was a lot of people playing 14, so I was like, oh, there's this ridiculously great free trial. I'll give it a shot. Why not? And that's where I am right now. So this became kind of the main game. The grand strategy stuff pops to second. And then the JRPGs are like third. And then I play other stuff too. It's just been like... Basically, I'm a variety streamer for the most part. Whatever I want to play, I play. Pretty much. Though I don't save... Some of the ones I have streamed, I never actually popped it over to YouTube when I was streaming on Twitch. You know, stuff like Backpack Battles, that was one thing I streamed that a few times. I streamed Slay the Spire, even though it screwed my audio settings. That game screwed up my audio settings for everything, for some reason. Which is an interesting game. You play FF14 because you want to play an MMORPG. Well, I mean, that's... Of all the options, it probably is the best to play. I mean, I would not touch Warcraft, not because I don't care about Blizzard, but because of like the setting, the orcs and swords and sorcery nonsense. I'm not a fan of that in general. But at least like the Final Fantasy type games, there's kind of like, it's not like, you know, Lord of the Rings rip off, you know, orcs and wizards and knights and all this stuff. there's somewhat, I don't know, it just feels different. I like this better in general. Of course, I like the Phantasy Star series better than Final Fantasy, to be fair. I really need to do that playthrough. Beat Phantasy Star 2 officially, because I've never actually beat that game, which would be very, very hard. That'd be very, very difficult, though. That is not an easy game, unfortunately. Phantasy Star 4, on the other hand, yeah, I could play that. I've started and played it a bunch of times. You know, still have memorized like the first like 20 hours of the game, pretty much. You know, I know exactly what I have to do, where you have to go, with like slight hiccups. Could probably do another. I should probably do another playthrough of that game one of these days. But the problem with JRPGs in general is just that you get to a point where you have to grind. And it's like this, like what I'm doing right now. It's like, yeah, instead of me running in a circle chopping trees, I'm going back and forth. I'm going like this to fight random encounters, so I have the correct level. So I have the right level so I can beat a boss. Yeah, the aesthetic. That's the same thing I think about WoW. I don't like that kind of swords and sorcery kind of stuff that world has. I'm not interested in it. I think their sub is relatively expensive compared to 14's. Their sub is actually kind of expensive. I think I probably mentioned this before. I almost did get into playing EVE Online back in the day. But then I saw the cost for that sub, because I was in college and I didn't actually have a credit card. And it was not cheap. That game was not cheap. And from what I saw later on, looking back, I'm glad I dodged that bullet, because that game was that game had a lot of no-lifers in that game. A lot of toxicity too. I mean, I like that, you know, spaceships and space sci-fi kind of stuff. I like that. But getting into it, you know, the gatekeeping behind the sub itself was the thing that maybe not get into it. Even though now it's like, I think it's actually free to play now. It's not even there's no sub anymore. It's free to play. Or something like that. Or whatever. I'm just yapping while I'm hitting trees. And hopefully getting some more towards our botany thing here in Lenosh, or no, the Shroud. The Shroud. 300 more. Okay. 75? 75 trees? 75 swings? No, 75 trees total. Yeah, we need 75 trees to get there. I do play 14 with a sub, but this is, you know, back when I was talking about EVE, because that kind of like, I didn't want to pay for a game, because I was, in my mindset back then, was that, well, why would I pay for a game? Because like for WoW, and I think for WoW at least, I think you had to buy the game, or EverQuest and WoW, you actually had to buy the game, then you had to pay the sub on top of that. So I didn't understand. Me paying for a game every month, I did not understand that. It's like, why would you buy a game and then have to keep paying for it every month? I didn't understand that, you know. But then again, I did that with 14. But, you know, times have changed. I have a little bit of disposable income. You know, I can afford this. It's not like it's breaking the bank. I'm not in college. I enjoy it. It's not painful, you know. So I'll put it this way, if the free trial, when I was playing this, I did not like the free trial, I would not have got the sub. I would not have converted it over to a full, from free trial to sub, to a full account. And I wouldn't have bought Dawntrail. So I didn't like it. To be fair, I probably could even, I could even suspend my sub if I wanted to. I mean, I'm not tied to this game. There's no, I'm just playing because it's like, I enjoy it. You know, I don't hate it. I don't make money off this game at all. I don't make money from streaming, you know. I'm just streaming it because, yeah. Why not, right? Because why not? I think it's more of a cataloging my progress, I guess, within the game. Because I did have a Let's Play channel a long time ago. Episodic, you know, 20-minute episodes, you know. At one time I had like 4 series running at once or something. The views weren't great, but whatever, you know. Didn't know separate pay-to-play was the Philippines? Even Ragnarok was free there. Yeah, the only... I did not know about free MMORPGs, but there were very few here in the States, at least. And the only ones that were actually free to play were like Korean stuff that you had to have a specific you had to like do on their servers, and like you were always running on super high ping, so like you were kind of playing at a disadvantage. I've heard about that like later on, of course. You lived there for 7 years in your childhood in the Philippines. Okay. Yeah, so when you have those free ones, they do have the pay-to-win stuff, so you get better gear. You know, you pay $50, they give you max level gear or whatever. That, I mean, as an example. So yeah, that is a problem with those those free-to-play stuff. Probably 1,500. Okay, so 25 trees is 100. And if we want to finish off maxing this, we need 200 more, so we need 50 trees if I want to finish off this tree. I'm going to finish this off. Or less, of course. There's that one, where we get 6 occasionally. You didn't know WoW existed until you played 14. I remember hearing about EverQuest, because that was kind of the first really big MMO in the States. And then World of Warcraft, obviously, because that came out when I was in college, I believe. And there was people that were like losing, they were like, you know, they would pretty much fail out of school because they were playing WoW. And I think people actually failed out of college because of EverQuest too, which was before it. But there were a lot of people that, you know, they lost. They got kicked out of school because of grades, because they were playing WoW. instead of going to class. So, which I don't understand how they would pay for it, because none of them really worked. So that was the other part of it. And this was before the ubiquity of credit and debit cards too. Yeah, a couple of my friends in grad school were like that. They played WoW, but they weren't crazy about it. They like, at the time they lived together, so they would organize raids or whatever. When they were like, they would shout at each other across the room because they were in the same house. They'd shout like, "Yo, go this way, go that way," or whatever like that. But yeah. For a long time, it was just, if I'm going to buy a video game, I'm going to buy it once. Either new or used. I'm going to play it. And then that's it. Then I'll have to pay for it once. No ongoing payment of the game. Until I came across this game right here, so. But then again, like I said, I played the free trial for... I picked it up in what? June or July? It was like 6 months I played on the free trial before I converted over to the full sub, because I actually enjoyed the story and how doing things and crafting, gathering. ARR and Heaven's Ward, I actually really liked it. Stormblood I liked too, after I converted over. Even though you get rug pulled at the end of Stormblood going into Shadowbringers, which I've talked about before. Yeah, I'm fine with paying for an MMORPG too, if it's nice, If it's not, well, I'd have to like the aesthetic of the game. I'd have to like it. I would not play a WoW clone or EverQuest clone or something like. A lot of people have been playing Guild Wars 2 because they're like fed up with like 14 for some reason, because these people have they have to get their dopamine fix or something. But of course, that game, the Guild Wars 2, is free to play, if I remember correctly. Okay, I'll take that. That's not too far. Do I want to finish this achievement tonight? I mean, it's doable. Not that far off, though. I mean, I do need the ice shards, obviously. Of course, I could be using my abilities a little bit more judiciously, of course, but that is a thing we're not... That's probably in a Dawn Trail area. Unfortunately. Bet those people would also complain when they finally reach endgame and playing for years and complain the same thing with 14. They do, yeah. It's those same people, all the people that play 14 on YouTube as content creators, and I'm using air quotes around that because I actually hate that term, or even streamers doing the same thing, and they burn themselves out, play 8 hours a day every day, and it's their entire they turn it into a job, but then they don't even enjoy the game anymore, and then they're too scared to play something else because their entire audience is about them playing, revolves around them playing 14. So they're too scared. You know, so it's like, okay. Then they complain about it. All their videos are how much the game sucks and how they're bored and like how much they hate casuals and all this other crap. Or they're them making a big deal about them being a hardcore raider, air quotes. And that, you know, the game shouldn't cater to casuals and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, cool. Thanks. I'm still waiting for the day when that some of these people that brag about themselves being these hardcore raiding types and they make videos about it and whatnot, and it turns out they're actually using mods. Then they're actually using mods. They see where all the stuff's going to be on the arena already, or that it's like an auto rotation, or it'll move you around the arena so you don't get hit. So that they have that going. Like I'm just waiting for the day when that happens. It turns out they're all using mods to cheat, and they're not a hardcore raider. They're a cheater. They never actually had an actual real clear of these savage raids and stuff. I'm waiting for that day. In a bit of a schadenfreude, but not like I'm invested in it at all. Well, the problem is that a lot of people, like especially with the streamers, but people finding out that you can actually, you know, make money from YouTube or Twitch streaming. You're making videos for YouTube or Twitch streaming, or even just streaming in general. That added a lot of it added what's the word I'm looking for? It changed things. So instead of you just being like, oh yeah, or instead of you just streaming a game on Twitch and like, you know, having fun with it and chilling with your friends or whatever, you make a community, there's a money component to it. So you're financially incentivized to play the game. Not because you like it, but because you're making money off it. So that kind of adds something to it. It changed the facet of everything. And a lot of people, it gets to the point where they play the game because it makes them money, not because they enjoy it. But, you know, and you can tell. You can watch some of these streamers, the 14 ones, or even the YouTubers. You can tell that they don't like it, but they'll keep talking about the damn game because that's what makes them money, unfortunately. But they don't like the game. Because they play it 8 hours a day, every day. And if they don't play the game 8 hours a day, every day, they don't make any money. And they can't move on. They can't try anything else different. Because they can see it when they play something other than 14, that their views will drop to literal 0, or drop down significantly. Because they don't have a community that watches them for them. They're watching the person play 14. Not because of the streamer. So that's the problem. It's kind of a small worldview mindset, whatever. Some people try, but there's a lot of people that have a lot of, they try to branch out and do other things. They don't care about their views. Be like, okay, well, I want to do something else, so I'm gonna do this. All right, cool. I don't care. You know, I'll push through it. If people want to watch, they'll watch. Great. They don't, they don't. But a lot of people don't have the mental fortitude to deal with that. They see their views drop a small amount, they get spooked and they run back. They run back home to mama, as the saying goes. To go back to the game that brings their views in. And I've seen it. I've seen it, a bunch of them. The different, not even people that play 14, because I don't actually watch many of those, but other streamers that their main game is a specific type, and they try playing something else, and they get maybe a tenth of their, a third of their normal views when they're doing this other game. So they get spooked. And the next time they go right back to what they were doing before. And then while they're playing, you can tell they don't like playing it, but they're only playing it because it makes them money. So it's interesting to see. If you've ever actually seen it happen, or watched it, or observed it from afar, it's really, you can see it more than once happening. I'm trying to collect my words, I'm playing the, well, this isn't really playing the game, to be fair. I'm just hitting trees. But I've seen it enough times where it happens like that. Where are we? Actually, this is under relevant, isn't it? Or watch list. There we go. That's not mining. Ooh, 80 more swings. Ooh. That's 20 trees. We're close. That's 20 trees. Do 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 do. Not that anymore. My handy dandy list of what I need for the luminary tools. More ish. I actually don't watch any either. Well, there was two that I was watching. I watched Cider Spider because he was actually kind of entertaining, but then half the time I would tune into his streams, he'd just be sitting. He'd be standing at some spot on Limsa Lominsa, zoomed in like this on his character, on his Lalafell character. He zoomed in on his Lalafell character like this, and then he'd have his cam up and he'd be talking, and he wouldn't actually be playing the game. And I'm like, okay, aren't you supposed to be doing your achievement hunting or whatever? Because that was kind of his thing. So he was one. And then there was another one I still kind of have subscribed to on Twitch. Well, not subscribed, but following on Twitch, or YouTube, a YouTube subscription. Is this Hispanic girl who does basically savage raiding, but is actually good. So, but is actually good at what she does. So it's it's interesting to watch, but watching to be fair, watching those savage raids, those people doing it, it's so boring. I mean, it's probably different when you're playing it, but watching people do these raids, the savage raids, to do the clears is absolutely boring. It's just like you're just watching them move around and then click, and it's like, and it's just like then just them hitting like doing their attacks over and over and over and over and over again, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just really boring to watch. I don't understand it. He's off kilter. That's funny. And even then, like I said, I don't watch him. Those are the only two I watched, and I think I unfollowed Cider Spider. I still watch his YouTube. I still have his YouTube channel because his achievement hunting series kind of like gave me a little kick to doing it myself because I had time while I was unemployed. But even he's been like, because he streams too much, so he doesn't put out a video. He doesn't put out any videos. He doesn't put out videos. And it's like, okay, sure. And then when I watch his streams, he's not doing anything. All right, well, I don't want to watch that anymore. Because I usually go through and if I'm following people on Twitch or subscribe to people on YouTube, I'll actually unsubscribe from channels that don't publish anything, or I don't watch. I don't like I haven't watched anything that they've done in like 6 months. I'm like, okay, why am I subscribed still? So I unsubscribe or unfollow. Just depends. I probably should do another cull through my YouTube subscriptions one of these days. There's a couple that haven't published something in like 2 or 3 years on their channel. What the heck are they talking about? Okay, never mind. Are we close? Thirteen swings. We're close. We're really close. We're really close. 13 swings. So 4 trees, roughly? Well, yeah. 3 full trees plus 1, unless we get a 6, which I don't think is going to happen, but we'll finish this up. Be another achievement done. These ones are really painful, actually. Actually, we'll do this. Well, I guess we'll get a Wise to the World. You know. Finish up a little bit later. Music, guitar, then road bike. But most of mine are like, actually, I think all of them are like, they're all video game related, but in the sense that like, there's logging the hours right there. Cool. They're video game related in the sense that they're like doing like let's plays or interesting videos or something like that. There's a couple commentary channels I have to follow, but like the one I'm talking about, like one of them, yeah, one guy, actually there's a bunch of them too. There's like a couple others that, like, one guy, he takes stuff from 4chan's X board and he reads them, and then you listen to it like with the music in the back. It's a kind of like a creepypasta kind of reading kind of thing. That's one. The other guy uses AI to do the same thing, but it's actually really well done. AI, the voice to text to voice, voice to text, text to voice type of nonsense. It's actually really good. But mostly it's like video game related stuff. I'll even look at it right now. Yeah, couple VTubers, but couple VTubers. Mostly it's video game related stuff. Yeah. Mostly video game content. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much video game content for the most part. Okay, got the achievement, so that's pretty cool. It's one done. 2,000 times. So that's done. Filled up my crystals again. Ice shards. I don't think... Do I want to smoke them again? Do I want to smoke the next step? Rings or rivets? What's worth more? What would be worth more of my time? Plate? Could make it plate. I'll make some plate. What the heck? Why not? I'll just use the lower tiered stuff. Armor. There we go. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. You could sell the higher tiered stuff. Sell the high quality and then keep the normal quality stuff. That might be a good idea. Yeah, these gather so many times achievements are really... You can grind them out, but man... You can grind them out, but they're 4,000. Well, I'm halfway through this one too, but like 700 more times for this one. But I'm not just gonna go here and just go log, gather 700 logs or 900 logs just to finish this out. I want to have a reason to go do it. So the Black Shroud one's about 2,000, so that's halfway through. Now we finish this one off also. I don't think... We don't have one for that. Okay, what about anything here? Oh, the Bramble Patch? I don't want to do that. Oh, I'm not doing wind shards. No, we're not doing wind shards. No. Nope. That's Lenosha. Do need that too. Earth shards. Thanolin. We do need Thanolin too. Sagally Desert. I think I did that last time for lightning shards. Yeah, 4,000 of that. Ugh, that's me painful. That's too low. Crystals. These would start getting us into either Carathas or Heaven's Ward areas. So too high of that's the wrong one I'm looking at. Summer for Lenosha. If we could finish the Shroud one, that'd be nice. 30. Nope. 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 Well, that's a shroud. That's a shroud. Darn it. Well, that's unfortunate. I prefer mining crystals because I can use them. But if we can find something within the level, find level 40-ish or something, level 45. I don't want to have to do that because that just feels like a waste. Or mining pineapple. Oh, God bless. That's all hidden stuff. Yeah, or just mining, going through and mining rosewood. My voice cracked there for a second. Mining what? 1900 logs, rosewood logs, and then turning to rosewood lumber. But I already maxed out carpenter, I think. Yeah, I already got that one for carpenter. Yeah, planning that's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. Oh, where is it? There we go. That's what I want to see. That should be fine. Oh, we finished. I'll keep the high quality mithril ingots actually. Oh, that's right, I did have the high quality mithril plate. Excuse me. Could probably sell those too. I don't think I can put that in my saddlebag while I'm occupied. I can't. Okay, never mind. Why did I put this here? Did I plan on doing armor? I must have been planning on doing armor for some reason. I remember putting that there. Okay. Let's go sell the, let's go sell it. I think you're maxed out. Yeah, I did get the hand saint stuff. I do like this glamour, though. I look like a Renaissance banker. I like it. The Renaissance Florentine banker. I like that. Was it Patria? I think Stella has that stuff, actually. No, but I do want to give... Yes. Actually, I'll keep that. Yeah, we'll keep that. Fourth. We're not going to go undercut too much, because why not? Good on that, because iron is stupid cheap. I'll keep this too. Yeah, 140. Make that go away. Why are you not selling? I think that's it. Alright, I need to put that in my saddlebag. Sort. I'll leave that there. I'll leave these here for now. Speaking of stuff. Cheap. Chad Chaddington. No, that's a name. that's a retainer's name. I think armor does need this to be done too, so Yep. Okay. That is a full 100 stack, right? Yes, it is. Good. Buy our 495 grade 6s. No. Do another crafting session. 1, 2, master recipe 1, Magitech repair material. Bam, bam. Hopefully the price has recovered a little bit, because before it's been kind of crashed. Well, not crashed. It went down below 1800, which I've never seen. So not exactly the best, to be fair. But it could be a lot worse, so I can't complain. Yeah, it can't be too much of a problem. Okay, I'll finish this and I'll probably call it an evening. It is 10 p.m. my time. And I do gotta work tomorrow. Oh, it shows live right now. That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know it showed that from the dashboard. That's cool. At least when I'm streaming here and I have 0 viewers, YouTube says I have 0 viewers. It's not like Twitch where it says I have 1 or 2, even though they're probably bots. They're probably bots. But yeah. We're alright though. Oh, you're here. No, I mean, you're here. But I'm just saying, if I was streaming this on Twitch, it would say I'd have 1 to 2 viewers. The chat would be dead. And I click over to see the like participants on the chat, my chat window, and it'd just say show me and nobody else. So it's like, yeah, at least when I'm streaming here and it says I have 0 viewers, nobody's watching. It's not like it's on Twitch where it says I have. Well, that went up really. That's something else. Yeah. I guess there's a little bit less botting over here versus Twitch. But that's okay. The channel's small. I do this for fun. If I did make money doing streaming, I'd still work a normal job. Any money I would make off of this, it would go into like my stock account. I'd save it. Because YouTube and Twitch is not a job. Contrary to what people tell you. There's a lot of CM for small channels in Twitch. What's CM again? Oh, ads. Yeah, you're right. Right. That's what I kind of stopped streaming on Twitch because of the advertisements for other channels. And I know it's the same for mine when I was doing it too, because I did have... Because there's no way you can actually turn the ads off at all. You can't turn them off. Even if you're not an affiliate, which I had. I have affiliate. But there's no way to turn the ads off. So your viewers will always get ads, no matter when they come in. You can put it up so that you can set it so that if you show so much within an hour, the people that come in the first time, they won't get an ad on the front end when you enter the stream. But then there's a lot of people that they literally crank it up all the way because, you know, to force you to subscribe to get rid of the ads. I've known one. I actually stopped watching one guy because he literally did that on Twitch, and that's frustrating. Yeah, they are some of these people are very, very aggressive. I mean, you don't make any money. I mean, to be fair, like, unless you're a large channel, the amount of revenue you would get from those ads is literally pennies. It's literally like 2 cents. You get like 1 or 2 cents for all that. You get 2 cents. Oh, it did sell. Oh, it went back up. Thank God. Oh, thank you, Lord. 1955. Okay, there we go. We'll make a little bit of cash on that. It was down to like 1,700 a couple days ago. I was actually very surprised by that. Let me just see. Oh yeah, someone bought them all. Oh, the history, that's what I'm looking at, wrong one. Yeah, this was down about 1,700. I was touching 1,700 at a time a couple days ago. So someone went through and bought them all. You can see right here, same person, same person, same person, same person, same person. Yeah, if we're lucky. Do I want to make it more 1956? Probably, we can make 1956. Not that much. Nobody will buy it then. Unless we're RMTing it. Okay, so we'll make 200K, roughly. Less the market board tax, of course. Or 1,800K or something like that. Okay, let me fix my gear. We'll do that, and then I'll call it. But yeah, even as a smaller streamer, you don't, even if you're not, if you don't have the affiliate on Twitch, you're just a regular streamer. You're a zero, literally a zero viewer, right? You'll still show ads. You can't turn it off. You can't block the ads with ad block. I think there is one you can actually do it. There is an ad block. I think uBlock Origin actually works on Twitch, but the one I have doesn't work, even though it does block. It does block for YouTube, which I would advocate for as a better viewing experience. Always have an ad blocker on YouTube. But yeah, I think I can go to bed as my Renaissance. Yeah, you can see my rough here. This should be not as bad. So if I had the shaders installed, this would look probably really nice. But from a distance, it looks fine. But when we get super close, and I like it's getting into Christmas, so we get our squirrel standing on our shoulder, down our squirrel minion. All right, so that's it for tonight. I think that's it for tonight. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening or day. Talk to you later. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll talk to you later. It's been a long day. All right. Take care.